Have you ever stepped into the shower, feeling the warm water hit your skin, the steam rising, the world getting a little quieter, and for a moment, everything feels safe? That familiar comfort. That private space. That daily routine you've trusted for years. But tell me this, have you ever stopped and wondered why doctors keep warning seniors about the very place we've relied on our whole lives? Because here's the truth most people never think about. The shower. That small, tiled space you walk into without a second thought, holds dangers that don't look like dangers at all. They hide in silence. They show no signs. And they catch people off guard when it matters least. For most of your life, the shower has been simple. Easy. A quick rinse, a warm moment, a familiar rhythm. But what if I told you that some of the biggest threats to senior safety aren't outside your home, but right there, behind that bathroom door? What if the place you trust most is quietly becoming one of the riskiest places in your entire house? You might not feel it happening. Not the slow change in balance. Not the little shift in your footing. Not the dizziness that lasts a second longer than it used to. Not the steam that suddenly feels heavier on your chest. It's so subtle, so quiet, that most people shrug it off, until the day something goes wrong. As we get older, the things we used to do without even thinking. Stepping over the bathtub edge, reaching for a shampoo bottle, turning around on a wet floor, start carrying a weight we don't always recognize. You don't notice the danger until the moment that tiny slip, that quick head spin, that unexpected jolt of heat or cold turns into something that can change your entire life. And that's why this matters. Because your shower shouldn't be a place of risk. It shouldn't be where independence is lost, or where injury begins. You deserve to feel steady. Safe. Confident in your own home, especially in the place where you start and end so many days. Understanding these hidden dangers could be the difference between staying independent, or spending months recovering from something that could have been prevented. It could be the difference between peace and pain. Between life as you know it, and a sudden, unexpected turn. And that's exactly why you're here. In today's video, we're breaking down 5 shower dangers doctors warn seniors about. Dangers most people overlook until it's too late. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to watch out for, what small changes can protect your health, and why one simple bathroom habit might be putting you at risk without you realizing it. Before we dive deeper, let me ask you this. Are you here to stay safe? To stay informed? To protect your independence? If you are, comment, "I'm here," in the chat so I know you're watching with intention. And if you're new to Elderly Wisdom Guide, go ahead and subscribe, because every day, we share tips that help you live stronger, safer, and more confidently in the years ahead. Let's start with the first danger doctors warn about, and it's one most people don't even think twice about. Hidden slippery surfaces. You may not notice them. You may not feel them under your feet. But they're there, quiet, smooth, and waiting for the wrong moment. Imagine this for a second. Tom, a 72-year-old man who stays active, walks every morning, and still prides himself on being steady on his feet, steps into his shower like he's done for decades. Nothing unusual. Nothing out of place. Just another morning. But on that day, one tiny patch of soap residue, just a thin, invisible layer, was sitting on the tile. He didn't see it. He didn't think about it. He didn't expect it. And in the time it takes to blink, his footing slipped. That moment, so fast he couldn't even react, turned what should have been a simple shower into weeks of recovery, bruising, and pain. Tom later said the scariest part wasn't the fall itself, it was how quiet it happened. How ordinary the moment felt right before everything went wrong. And that's the truth almost no one talks about. Slippery surfaces don't look dangerous. They don't warn you. They don't make a sound. But when you add wet tile, a bit of soap film, and the natural changes that come with aging, it turns into a perfect storm. As we get older, our nerves don't fire as quickly as they used to. Our muscles don't tighten fast enough to catch us. Our reflexes take just a little longer. And sometimes, our vision misses small details, like a shiny spot on the floor or a clear puddle of water that blends into the tile. It's not your fault. It's not carelessness. It's just the way the body changes over time. And yet, so many seniors tell themselves the same thing. I'm careful. I know what I'm doing. I won't fall. But here's what doctors say, and they say it firmly. Being careful is good, but it's not enough. Falls don't happen because you're reckless. They happen because the environment changes faster than your body can react. Caution doesn't stop a slick tile. Awareness doesn't stop a sudden slip if the floor gives out from under you. What does help are small, practical changes. Something as simple as putting a non-slip mat in the shower. Adding a handrail on the wall so you have something solid to hold on to. Using a long-handled shower brush so you don't have to bend or twist in ways that throw you off balance. Giving the shower floor a quick rinse after each use so soap residue doesn't build up. Even wearing slip-resistant shower shoes, something many seniors never think about, but they make a huge difference. These aren't big changes. They don't require huge effort. But they can prevent the kind of slip that comes out of nowhere and takes months to recover from. Because the real danger of slippery surfaces isn't the slip itself. It's that you don't see it coming. And slipping is only one part of the story. Because sometimes, the real threat isn't on the floor at all. Sometimes, it's something you can't even see, but your body feels at the moment it hits. Sudden temperature changes. You might think of it as nothing more than a quick shock, a moment of discomfort, but for many seniors, it can be much more than that. Take Linda, for example. She's 79, bright, warm, active, and one of those people who still enjoys a long, relaxing shower at the end of the day. One morning, she turned on the faucet like she always does. She waited for the warm water to settle. And then she stepped in. But before she could even take a breath, the water suddenly shifted. Warm 1 second, scalding hot the next. That instant shock hit her so fast her body didn't know how to react. Her chest tightened. Her heart jumped. Her blood pressure spiked, then dropped. Her vision narrowed for a moment, and she had to grab the wall to steady herself. What should have been a simple shower turned into a frightening experience that stayed with her for weeks. And here's what most people don't realize. As we age, our arteries become less flexible. They don't expand and contract the way they used to. So when your body meets sudden heat or sudden cold, it reacts more dramatically. A quick burst of very hot water can make your blood pressure soar. A sudden blast of cold can make it drop. And either one, heat or cold, can cause dizziness, heart palpitations, or even an irregular heartbeat. It's not just uncomfortable. It's not just a moment of surprise. Doctors warn that for seniors, that sudden jolt can be enough to trigger fainting. And fainting in the shower is one of the most dangerous things that can happen. Yet many people brush it off. They say, "Oh, it happens sometimes. The water just jumps like that." Or, "It's annoying, but I'm used to it." But the truth is, nobody should get used to temperature shocks, especially not as we get older. Your heart shouldn't have to fight against something as simple as turning on the water. The good news is, this danger is easier to control than most people think. You can set your water heater to a safe maximum temperature so the water never gets dangerously hot, no matter what. You can let the water run and stabilize before you step inside. You can install an anti-scald valve, a tiny device that keeps the temperature from spiking even if someone else in the house flushes a toilet or runs a sink. Small adjustments. Big safety. Because sudden temperature changes don't just surprise the body, they shock it. And in a space as small and slippery as a shower, that shock can lead to disaster. But while temperature can hit you all at once, the next danger is quieter, slower, and it affects almost every senior without them even realizing it. Let's talk about the invisible danger that fills the bathroom before you even step out of the shower, and how it impacts your breathing more than you might think. Steam. It sounds harmless, right? Just warm mist. Just vapor. Just part of a good, relaxing shower. But for many seniors, steam becomes something very different. Take Robert. He's 76, upbeat, sharp-minded, and never the type to complain. But he started noticing something. Every time he stepped into a hot shower, he felt short-winded. Just a little at first. A small tightness in the chest. A pause in his breathing that came out of nowhere. He brushed it off. He told himself, "It's just age catching up with me." And every day, he pushed through it. But one afternoon, after getting out of the shower, he felt so breathless he had to sit down. That's when he finally mentioned it to his doctor. And the doctor said something he never expected. "It's not age, it's the steam. Here's what's actually happening. When you turn that hot shower on, steam begins to fill the bathroom. It thickens the air, makes it warmer, heavier, and harder to pull into your lungs. For someone with asthma, or COPD, or even mild heart issues, that humid air makes the lungs work twice as hard. And if your breathing is already sensitive, even a small increase in humidity can make your chest tighten in seconds. Most people don't realize this, but high humidity actually lowers the oxygen concentration in the air just a bit. Not enough for a young, healthy person to notice. But enough that an older heart has to pump harder. Enough that older lungs feel strained. Enough that you step out of the shower feeling drained, winded, or strangely lightheaded. And so many seniors tell themselves, "It's just steam, nothing harmful." But steam isn't harmless when it lingers too long. It can trigger dizziness. It can make your chest feel heavy. It can leave you unable to catch your breath. And in a slippery, enclosed space, that combination can become dangerous very fast. The good news? You don't have to give up warm showers to stay safe. Simple adjustments make a big difference. Leave the bathroom door slightly open so the steam has somewhere to escape. Turn on a vent fan if you have one, it pulls moisture out of the air. Avoid turning the water to its hottest setting, warm is enough. And if you ever feel overwhelmed, take a short break, step away from the water, breathe, then continue. Because your shower shouldn't feel like a struggle. You should never step out feeling short of breath or unsteady. But breathing problems aren't the only invisible risk hiding in the shower. There's another danger, one that hits suddenly, often without warning, and can leave you shaken before you even understand what happened. You know, many seniors describe that moment when they stand up in the shower and everything suddenly goes dim for a second. It feels like the room wobbles, or like someone briefly turned down the lights. And most people just shrug it off. They tell themselves, "I probably stood too fast," or "maybe I'm just a little weak today." But here's the thing, those moments aren't random. They're not harmless. And they're definitely not something to ignore. Because the day it lasts just a little bit too long, that's the day a simple shower turns into an emergency. I once heard a man say, the scariest part wasn't falling, it was how fast it happened. He didn't even have time to reach out. That's what makes this so dangerous. These drops in blood pressure don't politely announce themselves. They hit suddenly, without warning, and they don't care how careful you think you're being. And the science behind it is surprisingly simple. Hot water naturally makes your blood vessels open up so the body can cool itself. Most people don't even notice this happening. But when you're older, those vessels stay relaxed longer. So when you stand up, bend forward, or reach too high, the blood rushes downward quicker than your heart can pump it back up to your brain. That split second, just that tiny pause, creates the dizziness. The blackout. The feeling of weakness. And the truth is, the older the body gets, the slower those pressure adjustments become. This is what doctors call orthostatic hypotension, and it's one of the leading causes of bathroom falls in seniors. Not tripping, not slipping on soap, but the body simply losing balance from the inside. And yet, most seniors don't connect the dots. They think, I must be tired. I didn't drink enough water. It'll pass. But no, orthostatic hypotension is real. It's silent. And it happens far more often than people talk about. You don't have to faint completely for it to be dangerous. Sometimes just that momentary dimming is enough for your legs to give way. That's why doctors strongly recommend a few simple but powerful adjustments. Sit on a shower chair so you don't have to stand for long periods. Avoid extremely hot showers that relax your blood vessels too much. Keep a sturdy grab bar where your hand naturally falls, not where you have to reach awkwardly. And every time you stand up, give your body a second or two. Let your vision settle. Let your balance return. It's those 2 seconds that could prevent a fall. Because no matter how strong or independent you feel, balance is not just about muscles. It's about blood pressure. It's about circulation. It's about the body adapting. And if you've ever had that everything went dark for a moment experience, your body is trying to tell you something. But there's one more danger doctors warn about, one most people never think about. It doesn't cause pain. It doesn't cause dizziness. It doesn't make noise. But it affects the body in surprising ways, and it's hiding right there in the shower, in a place nearly everyone overlooks. Grace always loved her long showers. To her, they were the one place she could loosen her stiff joints, breathe a little deeper, and feel the warmth soak into her bones. She thought of it as therapy, a small daily comfort she had earned after decades of caring for everyone but herself. But what Grace didn't realize was that while her mind felt relaxed, her body was quietly working overtime. The heat, the steam, the standing, the bending. All of it was demanding more effort from her heart and muscles than she ever imagined. She didn't feel short of breath. She didn't feel weak. She just enjoyed the warm water on her skin. Yet inside her body, something entirely different was happening. You see, the moment a senior steps into hot water, the heart automatically begins to work harder. It's not noticeable, there's no warning light, no discomfort, nothing dramatic. But the heart rate rises as the body tries to cool itself. The blood vessels open wider, the pulse speeds up, and circulation shifts in ways that younger adults handle easily, but older bodies struggle to keep up with. And then add another layer, standing. Standing in one place for several minutes might feel effortless, but for aging muscles, it creates quiet strain. Knees stiffen, the lower back tightens, and the legs hold more weight than most people realize. For seniors with heart issues, even mild ones, this combination of heat, exertion, and long standing becomes a hidden burden. A burden they can't see, because the shower tricks the mind into thinking everything is calm. Many seniors believe long showers are harmless. They say it helps them relax. They think, what could possibly go wrong? I'm just standing underwater. But doctors say something different. They warn that some of the most subtle forms of overexertion happen in the shower. Not during a workout, not while climbing stairs, but right there in a small, familiar space where the body is quietly pushed past its comfort zone. And what makes this danger so tricky is that it builds slowly. You don't feel your heart working harder. You don't feel your circulation shifting. You don't feel your muscles tiring. Everything feels normal, until suddenly it doesn't. That's why keeping showers short isn't about limiting comfort. It's about protecting your body from stress you can't see. A shower seat can turn the entire experience from a strain into something safe and manageable. Lowering the water temperature just a little can reduce heart stress more than most people realize. Taking breaks or pausing to sit isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. And if you find yourself feeling dizzy, lightheaded, unusually tired, or needing a moment to catch yourself after showering, that's not something to ignore. Those are signs your body is asking for help. And a doctor needs to hear about them. Because the goal isn't to fear the shower. The goal is to make it a safe place again. And all these risks, the slipping, the temperature shocks, the steam, the blood pressure drops, the quiet overexertion, lead us to an emotional truth that many families struggle with, one that goes far deeper than safety alone. Recognizing these dangers is not easy. For many seniors, independence isn't just a word, it's a lifeline. It's the feeling of being capable, steady, and in control of your own daily routines. So when something as simple and familiar as the shower begins to feel risky, it can hit a deeply personal place. It can feel like you're giving up a piece of your dignity, a piece of your confidence, a piece of the life you've lived for so long. And I want you to hear this clearly. There is nothing shameful about that feeling. Because the truth is, growing older doesn't take away your strength, it just asks you to be a little smarter with it. And understanding these dangers isn't a sign that you're becoming fragile. It's a sign that you're becoming more aware, more prepared, and more connected to your own needs than ever before. This isn't about fear. This isn't about restricting yourself. This is about empowerment. Knowing these dangers means you can continue caring for yourself safely. You can keep your routines. You can keep your independence. You can keep that feeling of, "I've got this," every morning when you turn on the water. And if any of these moments felt familiar, maybe you've had a dizzy spell, maybe you've grabbed the wall for balance, maybe you felt your breathing tighten or your heart work a little harder than usual, please, don't ignore it. Those tiny moments are the body's way of whispering that it needs just a little support. A small change in your bathroom could prevent a life-changing injury. A grab bar. A shower chair. A lower water temperature. A vent fan. A non-slip mat. One tiny adjustment could be the difference between a close call and a serious fall. Because you deserve to feel safe, confident, and strong in your own home. You deserve peace, not fear. Comfort, not anxiety. And with awareness and a few simple adjustments, your daily shower can remain exactly what it has always been, a moment of calm, a moment of healing, a moment that belongs entirely to you. Now, before we wrap up, let's take a moment to bring everything together. We talked about slippery surfaces, sudden temperature changes, steam-related breathing issues, those unexpected drops in blood pressure, and the hidden overexertion that can sneak up on seniors without warning. 5 dangers that most people overlook, yet every doctor warns about. So I want to hear from you. Which of these shower dangers surprised you the most? Have you ever experienced any of them personally? Share in the comments, I'd truly love to hear your story. You never know, your experience might help someone else avoid a dangerous moment in their own bathroom. And if this video helped you, even in a small way, subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. Every video we create is designed to support your health, your safety, and most importantly, your independence. And I'd love for you to be part of this community of strong, wise, and resilient seniors who care about living well. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. Stay informed. And remember, every small change you make today can create a safer, stronger tomorrow. I'll see you in the next video.